Hi everyone. This is for my students of architecture. So others may scroll down. Oh, or maybe you can hit a like. Yeah. See, the students of architecture who are on the verge of completion of their course, like as in the final years or into your internship that you are doing, who are almost architects. Yeah. So let me tell you something. You might probably have wondered like what to do next. The students who are in your final year, let me tell you about 7 types of architects that are there that you can become. Yeah? Students can take a note of this. This will be helpful in your career ahead, whether you do masters or do some other things in you start your own company maybe, or you do some internship, or you go into other jobs or whatever you can do. So let me tell you about the 7 types of architects that you can become. Right? Students of architecture can take a note of this. Point number 1, residential architect. Point number 2, commercial architect. Point number 3, interior design architect. Point number 4, a green design architect. Point number 5, a landscape architect. So there is a difference between the green design architect and a landscape design architect. We'll come to that later. Point number 6, urban designer. Point number 7, industrial architect. Yeah. So about the first point, who is a residential architect? The residential buildings have come to be seemingly identical after the standardization that followed the industrial revolution in the past century. Yeah. However, some neighborhoods still enjoy the merits of beautifully customized residences, and this where residential architects work. Yeah, they deal with clients who would like to have their own customized house design. They take note of their special and functional requirements. Then they start to design the plans, the layouts and elevations. They estimate the cost of materials and services, as well as the time needed to complete the construction and the finishing. Right? Commercial architect. A well-designed building is aesthetically pleasing as well as functional. And the functionality varies according to the types of space that is being designed. A successful design of a commercial or public building is highly dependent on a flowing and self-guiding circulation that optimize the experience for the building users. For example, a well-designed shopping mall lets the buyers find their way and get what they need pretty easily, without getting lost or walking more than they should. Commercial architects are supposed to make this particular thing happen, and happen with proficiency. They specialize in non-residential buildings, and this specialization requires engineering, construction, and artistic skills. It also requires full awareness of building codes, safety regulations, and construction costs. Point number 3 is interior designer. So an interior designer or an interior designing architect is designing the styling of an interior of an apartment. An office or a restaurant requires artistic sense and technical knowledge. And let me tell you, there's a difference between interior designer and the interior decorator. So we'll talk about that in details in later. Probably you too can find out what's the difference between an interior designer and interior decorator. Yeah, comment below. So about the interior designer, it needs a deep knowledge of materials, fabrics, colors, and the basics of furniture design. Point number 4, green design architect. So you see, with the recent changes in climate, with global warming, and the remarkable decline in non-renewable energy resources, the role of a green design architect or a sustainability architect has become very, very essential. Yeah? Green design architects are responsible for making eco-friendly and energy-efficient, sustainable architectural designs across all other building types. Either it can be residential, commercial, whatever type. They continuously work on innovative, effective green design methods that leave a minimal impact on the environment. Such architects should be knowledgeable in fields like aerodynamics, sun, shading, as well as properties of materials. Yeah. So coming to the landscape architect. Landscape architecture is concerned with outdoor spaces like parks, gardens, neighborhood campuses, and public spaces. Landscape architects design these spaces to be efficient, engaging, and harmonious with the environment. They decide the location of buildings, walkways, greenery, and other hardscape elements accordingly. Landscape architects also choose the materials for the walkways and the types of trees, the shrubs, the bushes, and the green areas, and the flora and the kind of foliage that will be there. And so they need to have a background of the science of urban horticulture. Mind you, all urban horticulturists are not landscape architects. Yeah? And all landscape architects might not be urban horticulturists. Yeah. They should be aware of the suitable materials and plants for different climates and uses. Yeah. The next point is point number 6. We'll talk about urban designer. Urban design is a broad subject that employs other specific specializations like building architecture, urban landscaping, green design, and so many others. It deals with the scales of neighborhoods, districts, and cities. Urban designers are in charge of grouping buildings, designing nodes, pathways, connectors, vistas, and street networks. So they give the city its shape and sense of order. Urban designers define the skyline of a city. Urban designers can design a city from the scratch or develop or redevelop existing ones. Urban designers additionally face a wider range of issues that have to be dealt with economics, politics, and culture, and a lot of other stuff, which is beyond the scope of architecture. Yeah. They also have to be in touch with the communities, with the governments who serve their clients. Finally, point number 7 is industrial architect. The architect of an industrial facility can be vital to the overall functioning of that particular industry. The industrial architect needs to have a suitable envelope study of that entire scenario that aid the flow of the industrial process that's taking place inside. He has to have a full understanding of that particular process, and this is what industrial architecture will, they will specialize in it. They fully understand the difference between the industrial processes, the various scenarios of industrial processes that are there, and accordingly design efficient and functional buildings that can house them. Right? So guys, you see, studying architecture, now that you are passing out of architecture, opens doors to many paths ahead of you, which requires hard work, dedication, and your touch of subtle creativity that each of you have in a differently enabled way. Deciding on one of them may not be easy at this point of time. At this point of time, you might be jack of all trades. Try to become master of one, or probably a couple of them. Trials and errors is one way to do it. Find a job, go ahead with this kind of a scenario of maybe any kind of residential or commercial architect or whatever. Try it out whether it suits your creativity or not. If not, move on to the next. Because there's always, I keep preaching, there's always a next time. And there's always another way. Consult with your professors, your teachers, or maybe architects that you are in touch with. Yeah, whoever is practicing the market. If you are one of those who has always known exactly what they want, consider yourself lucky. But if you're not, try finding your way. Don't worry if you fail. Failures are the pillars of success. Let me know what is your thought on it. What did you decide as a career path? Write your comments below. I'll get back to you. Yeah. See you.